this highway rolling on now 20 years. Just like my dad before me, coffee, blood, sweat, and tears. I'm addicted to the white line, a prisoner of the road. Ain't no cure for this disease, it brings us outlaws and rogues. When they locked me up, they handed me the keys. I'm pulling 18 years of life with no chance of parole. My heart belongs to Jesus, but this highway owns my soul. It's a crime, I'm doing time just to send it on down the line. I'm pulling 18 years, 18 years, 18 years of life. Some say I'm semi-crazy, my God, it's hard to tell. This diamond and tuck and leather just might be my padded sail. Those pictures on my dashboard where I've watched my kids grow up, I thank God they understand the cost of diesel in my blood. They know this rambling man and what sets me free. I'm pulling 18 years to life with no chance of parole. My heart belongs to Jesus, but this highway owns my soul. It's a crime, I'm doing time just to send it on down the line. I'm pulling 18 years, 18 years, 18 years of life. With no chance of parole. My heart belongs to Jesus, but this old highway owns my soul. It's a crime, I'm doing time just to send it on down the line. I'm pulling 18 years, 18 years, 18 years of life. There's no escaping this addiction, so until the day I die,
welcome everybody. Hey, just wanted to let y'all know we were having a little bit of a technical difficulty. Our internet, we had a storm roll through and it knocked off the internet for a little bit. I was trying to upload some stuff on the page here and trying to get the platform going. It rolled through about 7:45 and bam, the internet, everything went down. I'm scrambling going, crap, I'm trying to upload stuff. So I just wanted to let y'all know, sorry for the delay. Mother Nature had her choice in the matter, and I didn't get to have a say in it, which I kind of told her, I said, this is kind of playing dirty. So just to let y'all know what's going on. Good evening, Michael. Good evening, Mr. John Freeze. Good evening, everybody. I see the comments are rolling in from different places, so I just want to let y'all know. Good evening. We got a couple of things we need to talk about that we are trying to get done. We're going to talk a little bit about this Tesla truck. Yeah. Been getting a lot of reviews of it being broke down in the middle of a on-ramp. Yeah, I'm just saying, And then they had to have a comment to come back to sit there and said, well, why are these drivers so excited to see these things fail? Well, I don't know. Maybe because they're not as adequate or as equal to what we have now and what we got going on. Who wants to run around with a freaking bomb underneath their butt? I mean, I understand a motor can be too, but it has its ranges. It's not like if something decides to short circuit, next thing you know, you're sitting on top of 16,000 pound battery that is going to catch on fire. And if it does, then you're dealing with other stuff that's going to happen. We've already seen Tesla buses catch on fire. We've seen the cars. We've seen heavy equipment. It's just one thing after another, these electrical items, but we'll get into that here in a little bit. But yeah, there's a lot of comments going on with that truck being broke down on the on-ramp and them having to come out there and service some batteries and some other things that needed to be done. What's up, Mr. Josh Bolton? And hello, Mr. Bull 69. I know who you are, brother. Yeah, Mike Hicks was just in a bad out. All right, everybody. I was just been informed. Hey, brother, Mike Hicks was just in a bad wreck in Arizona. So just to let y'all know, whoever's out there in Arizona, let me know a little more info. I also have a little thing I want to give because of Jacob Bonham. He actually posted it to one of the guys that does a lot of the artist work, a lot of artwork like this for you guys, and does a lot. Just passed away. Jacob just posted it. His name is Tom. I don't want to screw up his name, but it's Medina, as I believe it is. It's Miedama. I believe it's the way it's pronounced. I have to go back here in my notes and look. But yeah, he passed, and I just want to, take my hat off and give a moment of silence for the man, because the man does excellent work. I'll show you some of the artwork that he has on here. I do have some of it up. I have a couple pieces of it. Yeah, let me get it over here. I'll even pull up a piece that's got his name on it. There, his name is right there, but that's some of the artwork y'all get to see. That was off of his own page. That's some of the artwork. That's one of them. This is the other one that Jacob pulled up. It has a comment too. I mean, this is the artwork this man does great work. So I just want to say sorry, brother, and rest in peace, and maybe you can keep on doing the good work for the good Lord up above. So on that note, we will get that out there right along with the comments that I got coming in. Let's see, what did he's okay walking around, truck's totaled. All right, man. Brother, just be safe out there. Just make sure that driver's okay. Make sure Mike's okay. Glad to hear that he is up and walking around. Yeah, Michelle, I mean, yeah. In love and peace with Tom. Yeah. I'll put his name. I'll post it back up here real quick so y'all can get his name. His name is on the bottom of the screen down there, just underneath it. It's Tom. I don't know. You might be able to enlarge it. I can't enlarge it right now, but yeah, that's his name and everything. We want to. Jacob Bonham put that up, and I seen it. I also want to give thanks to a couple other people. Thanks for that, Jacob. Jacob has also joined Left Lane with Lefty, which I'm proud of. Him and Rob Hallahan and quite a few others. The Bull Snut guy is now on our group. So we got quite a few good guys in there. We're getting things that we're pulling over and throwing into it. And if John Hall, if you're watching, I greatly appreciate it if you could throw a couple more of those things in there on the Left Lane with Lefty, all spaced out group. By the way, the winner of the pictures, because you'll notice the Left Lane with Lefty page hasn't changed yet, but it will be changing on the background pictures on the page. We had a contest, and I usually try to do it every month, but we were busy traveling, so I kind of got a little bit behind. But the winner of the month this month for the main page was Hallahan Transport. So I want to give a shout out to Rob for all the votes that he got, and Kelly for posting up the picture. But Hallahan Transport is the trucks of the month on the Left Lane with Lefty page on Facebook. You can go look on there in the group. I'll be putting it up on the page, but the group is where it's at. So congratulations. Probably I will go probably November, the first weekend in November. Then we'll go ahead and do another. I want you guys to come in, put in pictures, send them in, put them. I'm going to put up a post. It'll say time for pictures. Then you guys put up your pictures for your trucks. And then we're going to have guys vote on them. The more likes you get or loves you get, it'll be the top pictures, and that's the ones we'll put in there. Yes, and that'll be the way it goes with the pictures. So I'm just letting y'all know so we have this out there. What's up, Gary Poller? Patoller? Appreciate it, brother, you stopping in. What's up, Mr. Shaggy? Shaggy Consultants, please. Everybody, y'all get out there and check out Shaggy. He does really, really good. He does nice webinars and seminars on brokers and how to become a broker, how to deal with a broker, and everything else. And y'all need to go check him out. He's got a lot of stuff, just like Frank G does. Frank G ain't going to beat around the bush. He just tells you exactly how it is. And this is what you've got to do. And that's how you got to deal with it. And seeing he also does trucking and dispatching and more. So I'm telling you, he's got a lot of good information. Y'all need to check him out. Go over there and check out Shaggy Consultants. Like he says, right there, there's Shaggy. Go check him out. He's on here quite a bit. He comes and checks out the show and see what we're talking about. Hopefully here soon, Shaggy, we'll have you on here, brother, so we can have you go over your stuff and get you on here and we'll talk about it. It won't be tonight because last night everybody was watching the Alabama-Tennessee game, and everybody knows I'm in Tennessee. I'm really originally from Florida, and I'm really more of a Florida fan. But you know, I have to deal with Tennessee because I live here. But Tennessee actually, I say they stepped up to the plate. It was a good game. The whole game, I was on the phone with Kelly Shane for 4.5 hours. We were watching the game, going back and forth while he was picking up loads and delivering them. Talking about what was going on with him and him trying to get home. And yeah, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, he was kind of upset because he's a Roll Tide fan. And I told him, I said, Tennessee got the field goal, so Alabama lost, and he wasn't too happy about it. But hey, you know, brother, we care about you and we love you the same. It don't matter if you're an Alabama or a Florida fan. Just saying. We all love everybody the same. Let me get back over here to yep, hold on. Let's see. Yes, sir. I love you too, brother. It's good to see you in here. And I got a few things. We're going to talk a little bit about the OOIDA thing that my good friend and buddy that I call a brother, Asian Mai, which is Alex, with the Asian Mai show. We talked on a few other things, but he's got a lot of things going on. He's actually getting his first hands into the main political stuff that's going on. And yeah, we'll be getting into that here soon too. Like I said, I'm sorry that you're laid up, man. I'm sorry that you're laid up and you're still laid up from the knee surgery. I'm hoping you get back up on your feet. I know people that have had the knee surgery. It's rough for the first little bit, but when you get it done, you'll feel better. Just as long as you stay out of the cold. Just saying, just stay out of the cold. Like I said, like he says, great info. You put it out there for real. And it's real. And I do. And I don't BS or beat around the bush. I'm natural. And I try to put it to you guys naturally as I can. Because I don't want stardom or, hey, let's throw a little glamour and a little glitter into it and throw a little this, a little that in. No, I want to give you exactly where I'm getting it from and giving it to you because there's a lot of people that don't pay attention to it. And there's a lot of times you guys are working, you ain't got time to look at the phone. But if you're sitting there listening to me on the show and you're on your phone and you got it on speaker, you don't have to look at it. You can just listen. And a lot of the stuff I do play, I do get from people that I have permission and we talk about different things. I have gotten nothing but from the last 3 or 4 truck shows that I've been to that people have come up to me and said, hey, Lefty, we love what you're doing. You're real. You're not pushing as a salesman on anything. You're doing what this industry needs to be done. Hey, that's the greatest compliments I've gotten. And that's why I'm letting y'all know what we're doing and what we're talking about is a good thing. And people need to know the info. Just like I said, on November the 22nd is the last date. You guys got to go over to FMCSA and go give your comments on the ELD law that they're trying to pass. Because if there's not enough comments, there's not enough stuff going on, they're going to put it through Congress and try to get it passed before the election or get it passed after the election. And if they do, that means it's going to come down to ID, which is parked or not parked. You're going to have a thumbprint to log into your ELD or your tablet or your phone and log in that way so they can identify you by your fingerprint who's behind the wheel of that truck. And it's a little more invading of the privacy. So I'm just letting y'all know you got until the 22nd. But I talked about it the last couple of shows. I'm talking about it now so you guys can get over there and get into this and get it done. So y'all can get over there and give your remarks. Try to keep it peaceful. Don't use foul language, but go over there and let them know, because what I got to say tonight and what's going on, what in the video I'm going to play will play out a big part of what, and it's not the FMCSA. And I can sit there and kind of say it because I have done some of the research and found out this man ain't lying. It's not the FMCSA. It's a lot of your people going to your senators and congressmen, and a lot of them are your mega carriers that are feeding the money, because if you could buy a senator, you could buy a congressman, you can get anything you want. And I'm just saying, I'm not trying to get into politics, but politics has a lot to do with trucking, and it really does. It has a lot to do in y'all's parts. And as Bull 69 says, Hot Wheels, which is Ron, you can find him on Facebook, is now an official member and part of Hallahan Transport. Way to go, Ron, brother. Love you. I did an interview with him 2 years ago over at Semi Casual, him and another driver. And we did, him and Gabe, I did an interview with both of them. And I'm really excited that Hot Wheels, which is Ron, actually got up, and he's actually moving up to bigger and better places. So, and that takes a lot to be able to get on with Hallahan Transport. So that just tells me that he's a hell of a driver. He's good at doing what he does, and gets the job done. And I'm very proud of him. Let's see what Josh has got to say. Josh Bolton says, talking about EV trucks before everyone is EV this and EV that. Don't think EV trucks will work in Australia because of the weights. We pull, and we do not have the infrastructure to keep charging stations in the outback, because coast to coast, it's around 55 to 60 hours each way. You're right. You know, these things are only good for anywhere to 300 to 500 miles, depending on road conditions. What they're showing here, and thanks, Josh, and I greatly appreciate it. And I believe Josh is from over in Australia. So welcome from Australia. We appreciate it. The more of y'all can come over, the more we appreciate it. So, guys, we are getting out there. We do have Australia. I've had Germany come on. They do watch. I have actually went back and looked in the comments and actually look at the places where people have picked up. So we're doing good. And it wasn't for you guys putting left lane with lefty where it's at, you know, we wouldn't be here. But I want to thank every one of y'all for that, because it's you guys that do that. All right. So as he says about the EV trucks, yes, they're testing them here in the United States because why? Roads are easy. They're all paved, 90% of them. Road conditions can change, but there's nothing like the Australian outback where you're going through mud, through rivers. These things, I don't even know how these things are going to handle going through rivers. I mean, where a lot of the cattle haulers running through rivers, I can see it now. That thing going there, short circuit. You're frying a driver. You're frying your freight. They're not ready for hitting the Australia Outback or anything like that. Anything that's got they're trying to do local stuff and everything like that. Let's see. I'm going through the comments now, and I'm sorry I'm getting to it. Thanks, Shaggy. I appreciate you posting it to the group. I really do. If you guys can you all do me a favor and post it to your groups? There's quite a few of them that I am in, and they do want me to post to. I'm just, with me trying to run this and run the background and then trying to post, I don't want to have to constantly keep looking at my phone and going, oh, hold on, I forgot one, But I do appreciate every one of y'all that do share it out. I really do. And we do thank you. Michelle says, Swartz, Ambony. I'm from Fort Pierce, Florida. I live in Arizona now. Well, you are in my backyard. You're from Fort Pierce. I'm actually from Orlando. So just saying. My old stomping grounds. So I used to hang out in all these different places and travel. So yeah. And I appreciate it, Shaggy. Greatly do. Yep, get well soon. Hello, Miss Day. Good evening, everyone. Yes, sir, not a problem. Shaggy, if you want to, and before you get off of here, just to let you know, you can go in and when you do your stuff, if you want, you can go ahead and post it in Left Lane with Lefty so people can see it. Or you can go to the page and post it to the page so it's on the main content when they look it up. So I have no problems with that. Same thing with Frank G. I told him if he wanted to, when he does his show, he can broadcast it to it. Certain ones I will do that for. Certain ones I won't. So just saying. So I must be interrupting a conversation somewhere. Let's see. Let's get into it. Michelle says, you need to come to Surrey, Arizona. Is that Arizona or Arkansas? On October the 29th, October the 28th, and the 30th for the American Truckers Jamboree Truck Show. All right, so you're saying y'all want you want me to come out there, Left Lane with Lefty, to come out to that truck show, to the American Truckers Jamboree. All right, I will see what I can do. Really, I'll see what I can do. I also know that they're having the 10-4 magazine truck show, the 10-4 magazine truck show over in Virginia. I do have friends that actually work that and are in that. And they're a big part of a lot of stuff that I have done over the past. And I did make the commitment that I would go to their show. But I will see if things, I think it's about the same time. If I can get to it before or after that, I will try my best to get to that American Truckers Jubilee truck show. I will do my best. And I'm not going to give any promises, Michelle, but I will try my best. Michael's smiling. Michael says, Left Lane. Yes, sir. Always. Michael Cooler says, howdy. What's up, Michael? Welcome to the group and enjoy the fun. States that don't have infrastructures, neither. Yeah, you're right. A lot of the states don't have infrastructure for these electrical cars or electrical trucks. I know I've sat there and seen a few of them that they're now putting in at gas stations. But the thing is, there's not enough in between the distance from, like a lot of them going from Richmond to Bristol, Tennessee, from Richmond, Virginia to Bristol, Tennessee. I couldn't count the times I've talked to people, on one hand. I made it funny. On one hand, to be able to talk to these people and say, hey, how far did you get out of your car? And they're saying, well, we're just coming from Richmond. We charged in Richmond, and we're now hitting Bristol, and we're hitting one of the Tesla fast chargers. And then we may have to hit it again somewhere on the other side of Knoxville or, in that range. We had a guy that actually bought a new Ford Lightning electric truck, left here. He left Damascus, Virginia, which is probably 30 miles north of actual Bristol in Tennessee, and drove from there and got almost to Knoxville. And I think he was like 10 miles or 8 miles shy of hitting the 81 and 40 split, and the truck died, ran out of power, and he was pulling a small camper. So, and I mean, that was only, it said that you can get 300 and something miles on a charge, but like I said, if you're pulling something, you're eating double the electricity. So it ended up being a 300 mile to 100, and I think he said he had 105, 106 on the charge, and they had to call someone out to come out and charge it. And you can't use regular jumper cables to charge it. It wasn't pretty. I mean, it's weird how they do things. All right, so let's see. John says, I'm already got done here. Good. Glad you did, John. All right. Josh says, I've always wondered how did the ELDs become a thing in America, because they tried to introduce the E-logs in Australia and we told the government where to shove it. All right. We're going to get into that, Josh. And it's a lot of our major carriers that have a role into that situation. But I'll let you hear it out of, and I know a lot of people around here does not like OOIDA, but OOIDA does have some things that are good. They have some things that are bad. But what you're going to hear tonight is actually going to be something you really want to listen to and actually pay attention to, because you'll find out exactly why we have it. And there may be a way we might be able to get rid of it. Just saying. Josh says, yeah, I'm from Aussie. Yeah, which is from Australia. We drive through mud, water, and dirt. Yeah, them guys put trucks through hell and back. Just saying. Michelle says, close. Laugh out loud. I know. I was trying. My bad. I didn't want to screw it up. Arkansas. All right. Yeah. You know, and Arkansas is just the next state over. I mean, it's like what is it? About a maybe 6.5 hour drive. I know I went to Nacogdoches, Texas. I was invited by Troy and Troy Massey to come out there, and also by Mitchell Bottomley. They invited me to come out there, and that was a nice 14-hour ride, 920. I think it was 922 miles one way. Yeah, I got yelled at for trying to make it all in one day, which I could have done, no big deal. But I got into Texas. I stopped. I only had another hour to drive to where I needed to be. So it was worth it. I wasn't trying to kill myself or anything like that. You know, as truck drivers, we know how to drive. We know when we're tired and when we're not. Just saying. Let's see. Michael says, I used to drive oil field, and we drive through that, doing oil field hauling there here too. Yes, I know quite a few, like Troy Massey, Tri-State Environmental and Vacuum, which is also Troy Massey. Y'all know from some of the trucks I do put on here for videos and shows that we do and the parades. That's his biggest gig, is the heavy haul for the oil fields, and he has water tankers and the vac systems for getting rid of the waste and actually pulling water out, putting water in. So yeah, and he's got long hoods and beautiful trucks, but they do go through a rigorous a beating. But the man does takes care of his trucks, and he takes care of his drivers. And I will say that Jacob Bottom was a driver for him. He's leased on to him and drives a little bit, hauling stuff for him here and there. Congratulations on Jacob too for getting your own authority. I appreciate it, brother. Love what you're doing and where you're going. You really making some big leaps. And like I said, congratulations on the wedding last a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, just love it, brother. I'm just glad you're getting where you need to be. Just keep your head up and keep doing and being you. That's what counts. Just be you. And that's what I tell everybody. Just be you. Don't be someone else. And don't care what someone else tells you. Because a lot of times they don't know what's going on. They don't know where you've been or where you're headed. So I can sit there and say, you need to quit. This ain't going to be good for you. Don't let them get into your head because they don't know. They don't know what moves you're making. They don't know what you got going on. You just keep being you and be faithful to yourself. That's the thing. Be faithful to yourself. Michael says, hope we can make it. Or Michelle says, hope you can make it. I will try my best. And if I can, I will see what I can do. I will see what I can do. If it works out, I will. Yeah. John Freeze, big old teddy bear. My God, you had to write a paragraph, didn't you? Man, you just had to. You sure you want me to read all that, John? Yeah, you mega carriers are the ones that push through, thinking that they would have an upper hand on the owner operators. But the owner operators is a very strong group of truck drivers. I just wish all of us would stand together to have prevented it from happening. John, I understand you 100%. I'm right there with you, brother. In this industry, we have taught to worry about ourselves and not the brother next to you. And they've been doing that for the last 20 years. The last 20 years. They've been teaching it in truck driving school. And a lot of people don't realize it. When they teach them, hey, you're there to drive and drive and make the money for yourself. Don't worry about the next guy. You're there. Do what you got to do as that company tells you so you can make that money and they can get their product. That's their thing. Not a problem, Josh. You're good. You are good. I'm glad you're back from the phone call. Yeah. Let me get well. Hey, there's my buddy right there. So if you guys get a chance, check him out on Tuesday nights. He's also got a nice little thing going on. He's even got a women's, basically like a women's circle that he also has going on too. So y'all might want to run over there and check him out. Love you, Frank G. Love you to no end, brother. You've been a real good friend, and I appreciate it. Yep, oil field trucking is going to be a no-go. Why not? Why not? Come on, man. We'll just put some super floats on that thing. Yeah, don't worry about it. We can float you. As we were saying. Let me get back here to Josh. Josh says, next year I'm trying to sort out work and the family, and I'm trying to get to Matt 2023. It will be my first time in America. You know what, Josh? I'm telling you, for someone that's never been here, and you get to Matt's is a week-long. I'm just telling you, make sure you can get your walking legs on, and make sure you bring a nice, comfortable pair of sneakers. Don't wear boots. Don't wear flip-flops. Sneakers. This year I went. It become wet and cold and rainy. I still had a blast, but it was wet, cold, and rainy because a lot of the trucks were outside. You had to deal with that, and a lot of friends that I have are there that were in at Matt's. We had to deal with the cold, and I did interviews and everything with some of the drivers, some of the company owners. Just letting you know, bring you some really, really comfortable sneakers because you're going to be doing a lot of walking. And it can get confusing because you're talking close to tens of thousands of people in there. I think they had close to 100,000 each day in there. And I mean, it's wall to wall, vendors, events, things going on. I loved it. I went there. But it all depends on how things work out. But I planned on not going to Matt's this year and hitting my first show after I get done with everything else that's going on. Hitting my first show being Wildwood, being back in 2023 and doing the Wildwood thing because I got quite a few friends that want to meet up there. So I'm planning it short. I've done a lot this year with truck shows and doing conventions. Matt's being the first, and I mean, it just went uphill from there, and hey, it's been a good run. I ain't complaining. Really got to meet a lot of new people, a lot of fans of the show. Fans I never got to put names to faces. I even had one by Dave. We call him Dave. We call him Super Dave. And Dave actually, he's with his new job, he ain't able to come on here as much, but he does watch when he can. But Dave actually drove all the way from Illinois just to come and meet me. And that made a hell of a difference to me. And that's when I knew Max was going, and this year was going to be a hell of a year. When I actually had fans that drove 6-7 hours just to meet me, not to do anything at Matt's, just to come and meet me and hang out for the day. I had Dave. I had some of the people from DC, from the 10-4 DC that actually met up. I had lunch with them one day. They were all sitting around. We were talking. I was trying to get them on the show. They wanted to come on, which we're still working on things like that because they got a busy schedule and I do too. But I mean, a lot of different people. And it was really nice to actually see that I'm actually making a difference. And we're talking about different things that's going on. I also want to talk more into trucks, doing more as in getting some of these drivers, because I've had 2 or 3 drivers that watch the show, but they don't want to come on and make announcements, which I can understand that because it can get kind of embarrassing. And I'm not trying to embarrass nobody, and I really ain't. And I don't want them to feel embarrassed because you know why? Every single one of us had to learn at one point in time. Schools and that are not teaching people anything about the truck. You know, they're even now made it an official that you don't have to do backing or parallel parking in your driving test. Did you know that? I know some of you may, some of you don't. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable. This chair's, my mom sat in it and kind of got it, the adjustments out of it. So just saying, love my mom to death. Love her. But yeah, the thing is I done forgot where I was sitting. Never mind. My daughter, this is my daughter saying hello to me. But like I said, on the other issues of meeting people, you get to know things. And like I said, I want to talk about trucks. You know, I have a driver that's been on here, that's been on the show, has been on several times with other things. And it's more than 1 or 2 drivers that have been on the show. But they have got popped and did not know what to look for. Hey, I got busted for a busted regulator valve. I did not know and was not shown where it was at. And because of their situation, they were not able to get underneath the trailer and look and be able to know that regulator busted, because where they had the air tanks, it's upside down on top. You can't see it. Did not know that it had a crack. And the only way you knew that there was an air leak is when you applied the brake. It's the only time you could hear it. It's how the DOT officer knew that there was an air leak. You would have never known it. And wasn't their regular trailer. It was just something that they picked up. You didn't hear it leak, so you didn't have any problems. Didn't show an air leak on the truck. It didn't show it until you hit the brakes. Things like that. What's up, Mr. Roger McDucky? Another brother from another mother. So, like I'm saying, different things like that I want to get into. I want to be able to sit there and show you guys, hey, and I'm not trying to say everybody. I know there's a lot of you that are veterans. I'm a veteran. There's some things I don't know, but there's a lot that I do know. And I do know how expensive the stuff can get. Trust me. Not only do I do this, but I also work on them. I also work on other things. So I do know certain things that people don't really pay attention to. You know, on a Peterbilt, just the regulator, it's a regulator valve that sits underneath the left-hand side of the sleeper. Underneath, there's 2 of them. Both of them are $450 a piece. One regulates the brakes and that on the truck. The other one, which actually ties into it, regulates nothing but the trailer. in the air system to the trailer. A lot of people don't know it. Some of you Peterbilt drivers do. But like I said, the new people that are coming in did not know. They go, I can't find a leak. I said, hey, go underneath your cab. I said, you got someone with you? No. I said, ask another driver if he'll come over and hold your brake pedal down on you. Okay. Got the driver to come over and hold the brake pedal down. I said, do you hear the air leaking underneath the cab? He goes, yeah, it's not from the front one, it's from the second one. I said, that's your trailer regulator. You need to replace it. It's going to be $450. Check them, see if you're near a Peterbilt dealer somewhere where they can have it shipped to the Loves. Loves will change it out, but it'll take them a while. So things like that is what I try to do. I answer calls. People call me. And like I said, I'm not giving out names. I'm not blasting anybody out. But this is the stuff that I get. And I want to give this stuff back to people and let y'all know what's going on. Let's see. Michael says, come from firefighting, the best way to learn brotherhood. That's right. Brotherhood is in the fire department, the police department, the military, towing. It used to be in trucking. And don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of brotherhood out here, but nobody sees it because a lot of people don't see the circle. There's a group that runs around and they sit outside and they watch because they know how it can go from brotherhood to let's cause a scene. I don't like you, and then start a fight. And that ain't what we're looking for. We want the brotherhood to be able to say, hey, man, I'm having an issue. All right, man, I'm coming up behind you. I'm about 30 minutes from you. I'll pull over and help you. We'll get it fixed. I think I got the part in my truck. That's the brotherhood. Or, hey, man, I'm broke down. I can't get home. The truck's here at the shop. You guys, any of you coming by? Yeah, man. Where you headed? Yeah, I'm headed in that direction. I can get you as far as I'm going. Yep, not a problem, brother. Appreciate it. Get that driver home. He wants to see his family. He don't want to be stuck at the dealership looking at no truck or at some mechanic shop. They tell him, well, you're going to have to just sit with it. If you're not on a load, I ain't sitting with it. I'm not on a load. I know I can get home, and it's going to be a week before they can get that truck fixed. I'm going home. I have friends with trucks. I will get there one way or another. I have no problem sleeping in the front seat of a truck. If you don't believe me, ask Kelly Shane. I have no problem sleeping in the front of a truck. And as big as I am, 6'2", well, 6'3", but 6'2" since I've shrunk an inch because of being in his truck. But yeah, 6'2", I slept in that front seat, knee up on the dashes, and buddy, I was out. Put a pillow behind my head and leaned up against the door. I had no problems with it. Loved it. Had a good time. I did that at Matt's. Sure did. Let's see. Michael Warner says, make it to Matt's in Louisville one of these years. Man, you've been saying, hey, don't worry about it because I know I won't see you at Matt's because if you make a deal of going to Matt's, I'll probably see you out in, probably Mississippi again where I ran into you. I'm going to get you back. Just remember, I still owe you a lunch. You didn't have to buy mine. I told you not to. You did it anyways because you were faster on the draw than I was. You're funny. Love you too, though, Michael. You're a hell of a brother. Love you. And I love the picture. Love it. I gave Michael, when I met up with Michael, we met up in Mississippi at a TA. And we were sitting there talking, and I was picking on him. He said he'd lose his business card. So I had a plaque card about as big as this. It might be a little bit smaller, but I gave it to him, and I made a TikTok of it and handed it to him. I said, look, here's a business card you won't lose. Guarantee it. So for about 2 weeks, he had it sitting in his bunk, and it sat at the foot of his bunk. And just the other day, he put it up on Facebook that he actually put it up on his wall. And that means a lot, Michael, and I appreciate it, brother. Anything I can do, I'll try and do what I can. Let's see. Josh says, when I come to America, I'm coming over for a month or 3. Me and my checkbook needs to spend some money at the 75 Chrome shop. I hope I can hide. Oh, hey, we might be able to work with that. We might be able to hide that from your wife. Is she coming with you or is she staying over there? Because if she's staying over there, she might be able to check the checkbook. But if you stay over here and she comes with you, she ain't be able to check the banking account as good as you think because the internet service may not put it through like it should. All right. I mean, I got a show to go and no problems because I am getting on here. I'm about almost done with the comments. But I love you guys with the comments. I really do because that means there's interaction. That means I am getting out there to you. I'm on that. I'm on that. I am one that will drop everything on one phone call. Yeah, I know you are, and you have. You sat there laughing to me on the phone. Yeah, where you at? Oh, how did I get ahead of you? Oh, you didn't. I went down and unloaded and come back. Yeah, and he don't play. He flies. I mean, fly low. Yes. Wildwood is going to be epic next year. I've already heard some things that's already going to happen. I know some secrets that are going to be in the works of that. Oh yeah, I'm going to love it. You're going to like that too, Josh, if you're over here. No, she is coming with me and the kids. Hey, bring the kids. Trust me, we like to sit there and bring the kids. Yes, we still use CB radios. Some of us don't use them as much as they should. And you got companies here that refuse to allow them to have them because they say it's a distraction. Well, it wasn't a distraction for the first 50 years of trucking. So why is it a distraction now? It's because they rather have you on your phone than on that CB. Just saying. I got you. Let's see. Michael Cole says brotherhood used to be outside of the truck stops by the doors bullshitting. Sorry. Yeah, bullshitting instead of sitting in their trucks being alone. You're right. That's the reason why I know quite a few drivers. Philip Kirby. Philip Kirby is another driver. He drives for TMC. All right, he's a flatbedder. He's getting into specialty work. So is Hillbilly Cowboy. He's another one. But Cowboy does specialized heavy haul for TMC. These guys will get to a truck stop when it starts to hit spring and summer again. They will bring their grills and put them on their trucks. And they will have cookouts on their trucks at the truck stop, at the back of the truck stop. Away from them to saying, oh, you're taking away. No, it's because we're drivers. We feed each other. We don't sit here and play games. Just saying. Yeah. And that's the way it is. And we still have some of that brotherhood. And Philip Kirby's another one. He's a brother from another mother. And he takes care of other drivers. If he sees something, man, he's always flipping up the grill. Or he's like, hey, it's too cold to do the grill. We'll do the grill inside. He's got an airless fryer. He'll grill inside. He'll make some type of salmon, steak, whatever. I mean, the man's good. Love his stuff. What? Kirby's an actual jackal. Yeah. He is funny when you get around him. Just saying. All right. So after I done went through all the comments and we're talking about the different things that are going on. All right. So as we're getting into this, we were talking about the ELD. We're talking about why drivers ain't gone paper, why they're trying to change all this stuff. This is the reason why they're trying to do the side to your neck means you can't sleep, and that means you can't drive a truck. Or, hey, just because you've been driving for 25 years with no problem, then you're going to sit here and say, oh, well, we changed the rule. You can no longer do this. Well, I still proved you wrong because I still got the DOT physical. I have it down there. I have to renew it in 2 months, but I have it down there. I'll get another 2 year. and I have some other things in the works. Yep. I also have, might actually have my own truck here soon, just saying, on a different level of things. Not mine as I bought, but working on it. And there's another buddy from high school. He's been driving for 27 years. That man works for Rosedale, which you all have seen. That man right there has been around. He's getting to the point that he's getting fed up with some of the stuff that's going on. But the man loves driving truck and can't get it out of his system. So there is, like I said, there's people, friends I know I grew up with. They know how I drive. He's been with me. He's seen how I drive. I've seen how he drives. We used to do a lot of things together. Bad thing is I used to be his boss. I didn't have any problems with that, and he didn't either, because at the end of the work, when 5 o'clock, that was his favorite thing. 5 o'clock, I'm off the clock. Go eat yourself, buddy. And he would. He'd tell me, go screw myself. But then the next day, and what was bad is I was his boss. We lived next door to each other. So by the time he left the shop, got home, I'm pulling in the driveway, and he goes, "Hey, what's going on?" So it was nice the way it worked out. When you can be friends, but you can still be workers at the same time. Because we left work at work, and friendship, and that was at home. It didn't work at work. All right. Michael says they are overreaching, and as long as I can keep my eyes at 2020, you will not need to get an exemption. I heard that. But hey, thing is, even if with the exemption, it's not even a piece of paper. It just says, all right, we can't disqualify you. Well, the exemption, they can't disqualify you on hearing. You can say, hey, I got hearing aids. All right, it's an automatic, you're passed. All right, I got glasses, automatic pass. It's just, they got exemptions for that, but they won't have an exemption for what I do. And it's kind of funny how they do things. All right, Josh says, I'm a youngster. I'm only been driving trucks for 15 years. Brother, you're not a youngster. You're like the rest of us. We're drivers. Let's see. Darren, like I said, Darren's been driving for 27. I've been driving for close to 26. That's legal. And now if you want to go unlegal, then I've been driving trucks since I was 7. So just saying. But only because I grew up with it. I got family members and that own trucks. I used to go and play with them and run around and do different things with the trucks. So I learned at a very young age how to run, work on a truck, and everything else. So like the rest of us, we're all learning. We all learn every day. The day you don't learn something in trucking is the day you need to sit there and go, here, hang out the keys, because now I know everything and I haven't learned a damn thing. I know when you start going, I know it all, it's time for you to hang up the keys, because definitely something wrong. All right. So Michael Kohler says, that's because, like I said earlier, DOT and FMCSA play dirty. Kind of. They can go hand in hand a lot of times, but it depends on who they put in charge at the FMCSA. Because the FMCSA, I'll have to play it. I'll play it here in a minute, and then we'll talk about it, because this is going to get you guys pretty good worked up. And it's Asia Mai, and it's my buddy Alex. He did the interview. Some of you may have seen it, may have not seen it, but I actually went through and I have done some of the extra work that he's done, and it's actually pretty cool to actually see more into what I didn't know, what I do know now. Michael says, me wanting to get my exemption got me left out by the ERM Incorporated, emergency roadside medical treatment. I'm just saying, just being funny. Time to put the big boys on leashes. You're right. You're right. There's the answer. Just saying, that's the answer, maybe even the key to what we're talking about. So let me get over here and bring this in. Hang on a second. Got to check something. Aha! My internet's back up. Good. I've been running internet off my phone, so just to let you know. Good thing I have 50 gigs of hotspot on both my phones. So that way, if something does happen, I lose internet, I can get internet back. Yes, you love watching Asian Mike's videos. Asian Mai. It's M-I-A. Yeah, Asian Mai. Or M-A-I. M-A-I. My bad. Yeah, Asian Mai. All right, so let's get into this and let's get it going. All right, I'm pulling it up. This is the guy there, the older gentleman, is actually the head of the OOIDA. And we're going to go ahead and get into this, and I'll start playing it. I'll enlarge it so we all can see it on the big screen. Here we go.
We talk everything trucking, how to make money in trucking, and definitely the news that's happening and why it actually happens. Today, we actually have the president of OOIDA, that actually is fighting for independent owner-operators out there in America. And here's the thing. He actually exposes on the channel why all these crazy rules, why we don't have broker transparency, why we don't have more truck parking, and definitely why they're trying to put speed limiters and hike up our insurance for truck drivers. And he pretty much said, it's the big dogs, it's the big mega carriers. They're the ones that are whispering in the ears of the FMCSA and the DOT to let them know that they need these rules and regulations. Why? To take out the competition and so that they could be above the competition. This is crazy. I never thought of it like this, but it makes so much sense. Let's welcome, President of OOIDA, Todd Spencer, on the show. Thank you so much for being on the show.
When I said a minute ago that DC and the policymakers, the lawmakers respond to economic interests, that's where most of these regulations come from. They don't come from government folks just sitting around saying, what can we do? Some come to these folks and say, these are the things that you should do. And certainly we see that with speed limiters. We watched it play out with electronic logging devices. FMCSA didn't want to do that, and they never would have. Congress said you have to do it, and Congress said you have to do it because big carriers said we need an ELD mandate. And these same folks right now are telling lawmakers we need a speed limiter mandate.
Are you thinking about starting a trucking business, but you don't know how to get funding? You don't know how to get legal. You don't know how to purchase equipment.
Hey, got to get through the commercial. We're going to skip the ad.
How are you doing, sir?
Fine.
Sorry about the ad kicking in there, but as you can see, you already hear what Asian Mai is getting into in OOIDA. The president of OOIDA is actually letting you know it's the big mega carriers going in and trying to get into the pockets. Michael, do I still have an echo? Or John, do I still have an echo? You guys still? That's what I believe. Asian Mai, it's actually Mike, not Mike, is right on that. That's what I figured it was, and it is. And there's a lot more to go into this. So I will go ahead and restart it. We'll go ahead and start with the actual interview. But I want to give a shout out. Thanks to Asian Mai. Thank you for letting me use your material and be able to put it on here. This is for educational purposes only. So just let you all know. No, it's only echo when it might be because the way he had it set up on that video. So I will double check it and just make sure. What? Asian Mai is dead. Wrong about the broker transparency. Oh, it's dead wrong. He doesn't know anything about it. Well, I can understand there's certain things that we all can disagree and agree with, which is understandable. We can understand that. I just want to get this out here, what OOIDA is saying, and that's why I wanted to put this out here so everybody can see the other side of it. And then we can go from there and we can discuss and find out exactly what we know. And like I said, Frank, you do know a lot more into that other end of it that I don't know, because that is what you do work with. I agree with Frank Brooks about that. Yes. All right. There's certain things, like I said, not everybody's going to be right. Like, I'm not right all the time on what I talk about or what I get into. It may be something I believe or something I might have a passion for. But I want to hear, like me, I want to bring you all into a round table so we all can talk about it. So that way we have an opinion. We're not sitting here arguing, fighting, or anything like that, because I know you guys don't. Especially Frank. Me and him, we don't fight. We call each other every now and then. We'll pick on each other. But this is how we communicate. A lot of it is where drivers don't want to communicate, or the brokers don't want to communicate, or other things into situations. This is why I do this, so we all can have our own way of speaking. We can get our own point of views out, and we all can still be friends at the end of the day. Let me get back over here. Josh says, yeah, we have the same problems in Australia. We have big companies telling the government what to do and how to do it, and we are being regulated by people who have never been. Hey, that's exactly what we're saying. We have the same problem here. They keep putting people in charge that have never been around a truck, never been in a truck, don't own a truck, never know how to run a business, anything like that on a truck. Yeah. And it's stuff like that. What's up, Glenn? My brother Glenn from my raging Cajun buddy from down in Louisiana. All right, Michael. I can understand that. To be honest, I stopped following Asian Mike a while back because he's melodramatic to me. No offense. Hey, I can understand that. I wanted to get the chance to do an interview with OOIDA. I just have not been able to give him that chance. I haven't been able to get into that chance because a lot of the times I can make the phone call. I'm not there yet on that type of level that he's at. I'm not trying to say I'm letting it go to my head and I want to play things, but I want to be able to, hey, this is what we need to talk about. I want to hear the truth. I want to hear what's coming out. Then I'm going to put it to the people. Hey, you tell me what you think. Do you think we're wrong on this? Or do you think he's wrong on this? This is why I do this, so we can get everything out. I want to be able to get everybody to have a little bit of dialogue on this and see it. And it touches on subjects that a lot of people don't want to or do want to. And I'm just saying. And it's nothing. I don't mean anything bad by it. And I understand where you're coming from, Michael. I understand. I understand where you're coming from. I'm just letting you know that I don't want to lose you as a fan or someone that wants to come in and be able to talk and do all that, because you can ask Frank. I'll send anybody a link and we'll go ahead and we'll talk about it. We'll go ahead and talk about it and bring you on, and then you can say your piece, and then we'll let people in the comments, talk back, and you can read them. That's just the way I am on the show, and this is what it's about. I want everybody to have their say. Everybody's equal. It's not, hey, this one's better than you, this one's better than me. No, we're all equal. We're all good people here. Michael Warner says, big boys should stay in their lane because 50% to 80% is moved by less than 5 to 10 trucks down to a single truck. You're right. You're very right. You're very right. And Michael, you are right. It's the small guy that makes the future of this. And John's got another comment right there. It is definitely the ATA is another offender to us. They really like to stick it to us. Michael Kohler says, No danger of losing me as a fan. If Frank follows you being one of my mentors, it's enough for me. I really do appreciate that, Michael. Michael, I really do. I can sit here and I can call Frank up right now on the phone, right here on this phone. I can call him up and give him crap. And I can actually even bring him on the show if he wants to come on. It's up to him. I don't know if he's at home or if he's out there down in the bottom in the garage playing in the shop and just listening to what I got to say. Just saying. Love you too, Frank. And that's my brother from another mother. We had a dealing, but it wasn't because of me. It was because of other situations. But Frank's been a good friend of mine, and Bull Snot sponsors me and takes care of me, and he deals with Bull Snot too. We're good people with all of them. Tony Justice. That's the reason why I play Tony, because Tony's in my group. Tony's a fan. Tony, I've had on here for interviews. We get into this stuff. Like I said, I'm not here to make enemies, but I'm here to make friends. And it don't matter if we don't agree eye to eye, we're still here to be friends. Because, that's just the topic. That don't have nothing to do with being part of our friendship. You know what I'm saying? John says the big ATA has been causing trouble for many, many years. And in fact, they are a mega carriers. They are the mega carrier. Yes, you're right. There's a lot of them tied into it. They are grabbing as much freight as they can and farming it out. Yep, farming it out after taking it and taking the fees off the top. You're right. There's a lot of them that are doing that are taking it off the top. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like Frank G says, ATA is the enemy of the small trucks. They are, because they're wanting to run them out because they got the big megas in their pockets. And they like it that way. Yeah, Michael says ATA is worse than FMCSA. Yeah. But I want you to hear at least what the president, Todd Spencer's got to say. I want you to hear just of what he's got to say. Y'all have a good night. Going to get here quick. Just wanted to pop in and say hello and be safe out there. Thanks, Glenn. Hey, brother, I appreciate it. I'm going to try to hit you up here. I think I still have your number somewhere unless you changed it again. If not, I'll get with the old Billy Goat, Kelly Shane, and we'll get together on a chat in that. Because there might be something in the works for you there, brother. And I know you're running back and forth hauling the FEMA stuff to Florida. So appreciate that. I know you got to work. You've been running your butt off. And you have a good night there, Mr. Glenn. Appreciate it, brother. That's my Raging Cajun from Louisiana. Good buddy. Good friend. Hilarious, too. All right. Let me get on here. Let me play a little more of this, and then we'll go into the comments, and we'll jump off of this. But we'll stay on it. And if you want to come on, Frank, I have no problem sending you a link if you want to come on or however you want to do it. Or I can call you on the phone and we can sit here and chit chat about it. It's up to you. I have no problems. Yep. Soon bedtime, got to get ready to ride the big road. I understand that too, Michael. That's why I'm not going to stay on here much for too long. I'm not trying to take up your y'all's time. I would have been on last night, but everybody was watching the games, and I didn't want to interfere with the games and then trying to fulfill my time. You know what I mean? Because I want you guys to know the info. So, all right, let me get back over here, and we'll get this going again real quick.
And you?
I'm doing great.
Your appropriate props on display.
Somebody made this for me, and I had this little cup, and I was like, you know what? Let me put this little display in there. We got the famous Todd Spencer. We gotta have a conversation.
Famous, huh?
I'll tell you what. I've been watching a lot of the things that you've been doing and talking about. Like when I watched the one where you did, I think a few years back actually. Or let me know if I'm wrong. The FMCSA is looking at making what 21-year like 18-year-olds being able to go interstate OTR. And I loved it when you said that no, they should be raising the bar for safety.
Well, sure. If you actually look at safety numbers, you don't take the age down, you take it up. Minimum should be 25.
I'm telling you, some of the things they're doing, and I made that little video talking about, one of the biggest gripes that independent trucker drivers have is definitely broker transparency. And there was a really nice letter that you wrote about that I remember 2 years ago when they went down to Washington, D.C. and they shut it down, and it was a big deal, and it kind of went into the wind.
Well, there were economic factors that came into play then, but also, while those guys were sitting there blowing their horns outside the White House, suddenly our economy for truckers had suddenly kicked into high gear, and suddenly there was a great need for trucks, and people didn't mind paying more money for those trucks. So the guys that were sitting there in DC were kind of left out of that. But when you talk about these issues, next year OOIDA will celebrate its 50th anniversary, and many of these issues we've been working on for virtually all of this time.
That I think sometimes that might be the little miscommunication is people feel that these are the main issues, broker transparency, more truck parking, higher pay, right? A lot of the gripes that truck drivers had for so many years. And people are like, why is nothing being done? But what I'm learning, because I had an opportunity to go with NATSO a couple weeks ago to Congress, progress and process in their setting is very, very slow.
Well, realistically, Washington responds to economic interest and special interests, and truckers have to be one too. And that was the principal reason that OOIDA was formed almost 50 years ago. And at that time, it's funny because at that time was the creation of OPEC, the very first Arab oil embargo, 50 years ago. And it had a dramatic impact on truckers because fuel prices virtually doubled overnight. And there was more to it than that, in that, quotas were, supply was limited. Truckers were faced with going to a truck stop and paying an inflated price for fuel, but they could only buy 25 gallons, which would be basically enough to get them to the next truck stop. Right. So they'd do it again. And truckers stopped all over the country. And what the catalyst for that was fuel, but all of these other things, or many of these other things, were basically also long-standing gripes. And of course, through the years, the size of the trucking industry has more than doubled from what it was back then. And yet, the amenities, the truck stops, the parking places, there's no more now than there was then. So, and it's just pretty much an impossible situation. And, we hear these folks talk about driver shortage. Well, what they don't say is we can hire plenty of drivers, and we do. We just can't keep them because people burn out quick. And they burn out quick because of the environment and because realistically pay hasn't kept up from where it should be.
And see, and that's the thing that I think gets portrayed in a narrative sometimes that people believe to push more like that autonomous and self-driving semi-truck, right? And so what are your thoughts about taking a truck driver out of the semi-truck, hauling down 80,000 pounds?
Well, it seems pretty crazy to me. I mean, it really does seem crazy to me. Having said that, we've seen tremendous advances and evolution in the capability of technology through the years. Yes. And basically of late, it's even more so. And those people that produce the technology are going to find applications for it. So, you know, certainly the possibility of autonomous cars, autonomous trucks, that's going to be something that's worthy of investments. And, you know, these folks have a lot of money to invest. And of course, they also have a lot of money to use to influence policymakers and lawmakers. So, yeah, I mean, it's there, it's on the horizon. And certainly you can bet big trucking companies, if they see an opportunity to reduce or eliminate their
Want to know where you can shop hundreds of Silverado HDs, including chassis cabs equipped with Redding, Napai, Wilrow, CM, or Warner beds? At Donahue,
their cost of labor, they will. They will. And of course, you know, that's going to be an economic reality. But, you know, from our perspective is that our guys have to share these roads with these vehicles that, you know, we think are totally unpredictable. So certainly safety is the highest priority for those folks that spend their life out there on the road. And that's most of our guys. So.
No, I love it. I love it. You know,
and, you know, listen, what I would like from you is, you know, we've been an advocacy organization on behalf of truckers for almost 50 years. The founding members of OOIDA recognized early on that, okay, we can complain about things, but if we actually want to have an impact on policies and procedures and regulations and how we're going to be treated going forward, we have to be here on a full-time basis. You know, policymakers, lawmakers can't just hear from truckers whenever they've got a gripe. They need to be educated on a full-time basis, and that's what we set about to do. The biggest challenge that we've had through all of these years is getting enough truckers to buy in, to understand a few bucks is certainly a pretty small price to pay for having effective professional representation where it's needed. And, you know, that's always the case because, you know, while we have, there are, when I said a minute ago that DC and the policymakers, the lawmakers respond to economic interest, I mean, that's where most of these regulations come from. They don't come from government folks just sitting around saying, what can we do? Some come to these folks and say, these are the things that you should do. And certainly we see that with speed limiters. We watched it play out with electronic logging devices. FMCSA didn't want to do that, and they never would have. Congress said you have to do it, and Congress said you have to do it because big carriers said we need an ELD mandate. And these same folks right now are telling lawmakers we need a speed limiter mandate.
Well, see, Amanda. Wow. So, okay. So, you know, for the people that are being confused, you know, the government, the FMCSA, Department of Transportation, that's not per se the wall that we're trying to break through. It's somebody is going to these people that make laws.
Oh, absolutely.
We need this. So
absolutely.
Speed limiters, it's not the Secretary of State of Transportation. It's the big mega carriers saying, hey,
absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
And the reason, you know, the reason is because, you know, while all of those companies are free to do whatever they want to do, put speed limiters on your trucks, put ELDs, and whatever you want to do, that's up to you. That's your business. When you start, but they want to mandate it because they want the mandate to apply to you, their competition. So that way they close the door that their drivers would have from saying, hey, I don't want this crap, I'm out of here. And they have no place else to go because everybody else has to do it too.
Wow.
So that's to the madness. And, you know, again, the ELD was a bitter pill to swallow for most truckers. We did everything we could to stop the legislation. We did everything we could to stop the legislation after it actually went into effect. We sued at every level of the court. And in the final analysis, the U.S. Supreme Court decided they wouldn't review it. So that's the end of the line.
You know, would you pretty much agree then that the big companies out there are pretty much the ones behind almost every rule and regulation that truckers have been having to deal with in the last century?
Absolutely. Well, absolutely. And look, they look for opportunities to try to find ways to pat themselves on the back about things like rest areas. Well, they haven't been pushing rest areas. They haven't been pushing the need for parking because it wasn't an issue that actually affected them. It was just the folks behind the wheel. And, they can listen to you and then they'll go home at night, sleep in their own beds. They don't have to hunt to try to find a parking place. So we, OOIDA, small truckers have made this an issue. And it is an issue in DC right now. FMCSA is fully aware of it. They talk about the problems to do it. We're doing everything we can to make all of the federal money that can be available made available. Certainly, DOT can grant some money, and they're doing that now with states. And we're seeing that with rest area, with increases in rest areas in Florida, and I think North Carolina, and there'll be some other states. But having said that, we have to motivate states to actually make that a priority. And we have legislation currently pending in the House. It's HR, 2187 is the House bill that puts in about $760 million that's for dedicated parking. And this would be dedicated parking that would be, that can't come with a fee. It can't be paid parking. Now we have to get a Senate bill, a companion bill in the Senate, and we're working on that. And we hope to have that. Introduced pretty quick. But I mean, these are things that truckers themselves can support and get behind and make their work environment better. And if we don't do it, it isn't going to happen. I mean, it isn't going to happen. We're going to have to be the one that makes noise about this.
No, and I understand that, and I'm telling you right now, a couple people watch me on social media, Todd. And so if there's anything that's ever needs to be a voice to the many, and when I say the many, the owner operators, the truck drivers out there in America, I feel like that's our disconnect sometimes, because as independent truck drivers, we don't know. We know what we have problems with, but we don't understand how we can help that problem. And so when you guys are doing something that might need opinion from the masses, a survey showing the FMCSA that, look, truckers do care about this, this is something that I would love to be a part of, and be able to let the masses help know, hey guys, right now, you guys need to vote on this survey or what have you, because the $700 million that's going to possibly go to granting for trucking all across America, we have.
You might be asking yourself, can you actually create high quality live streams for free? Well, with StreamYard, the answer is
So as you can see, he makes a lot of points, and you can see where they're trying to work. And there's a bill in the House that they're trying to get, which is HR, which is an HR bill, which is a House resolution bill that we're trying to get out there. I want to get back to Michael. Michael's got a point here too. Michael says, Jason's law was passed to combat parking, but the states are not following it. And you're dead right. They're not following it because ever since the pandemic hit, it threw everything into, whatever, because drivers were needed. So it didn't matter. So guess what? You didn't have to run an ELD. You were exempt. You were running on exempt on a lot of stuff that you had to do for running loads. And then after that, it just like faded away because it's like everything else. If you don't talk about it or don't mention it, it don't exist. And that's why I said I wanted to play some of that, and I'll play the rest of it if you want me to, and get that in there. But I mean, this is some of the stuff that it's showing you that OOIDA is working on it. A lot of it is because people in the megas are paying the senators and the congressmen to, hey, We want this. This is what we need. Boom, make it a law. And they're doing it because there's enough of that behind them. And that's where we need to stand up and make a change on it, because we need to get the word out there and say, hey, we're not playing this game because you are messing with us and our livelihood and what we do for a living. Because like he said, the FMCSA, it's your truck, your company, you do as you please. But if Congress says it has to be done, then they have to enforce it. And that's where I think the misleading, everybody thinks it's the FMCSA. And like he said, the FMCSA kind of don't care. They it's your truck, your business, you do what you want. But that's the way it's going. I know there were some other comments up here, like John Freese says. John Freese says, I will have to agree on what he said about the roads. The roads, as far as I'm concerned, are the worst that I have seen in 44 years. I want to know where the money is going. That's not fixing the roads. That's supposed to be fixing the roads. You're right, John. Where's that money going to? Is it going into special slush funds? Is that where it's going? Is that what's going on? Yeah. Just saying. And Michael said he had to go clean out his wells because they're full of dirt. Let's see. Michael says, keep forgetting to send in my lifetime the membership. Yep. We need to, because the more we have to do with people that are willing to work with us and be on our side about this is what we need to do. We need to have more of us coming together, especially owner operators, because this is the main thing that they're going after is owner operators. It's not the megas that we need to go after and try to get them on our side to help, because they're not the ones there. They're the ones, like you said, they're the ones that are making the problem. Because why? They want to force out all the owner operators. They want it all to themselves, so that way they can dictate when they all get together. It's almost like them having their own round table. They all come up together and go, all right, well, let's see what we can do. What can we get away with this time? All right, so if I do this, we're going to put speed limiters. Well, we're going to make it to where drivers can't go jumping from one company to the other. Well, it's just like with their rates that they pay drivers, percentage or by the mile. They're all about equal, and they make sure of it. So that way, if you get a driver, you're going to go, well, I can't go anywhere because I'm making the same rate as this guy. Then you got guys like Kelly, and I'm just going to use Kelly as an example. Kelly used to run for a company doing heavy haul. Ran with them for probably 2 or 3 years. Got the same pay, same situation, just dealing with it. Then he got hooked up with a owner operator that owned his own trucks. And the man's driving nice equipment, making good pay, and got constant work. And they're willing to treat him as family. And he gets the home time when he wants the home time. He gets all kinds of different things that are going on. And that's where it makes the difference, because the owner operator is the one looking out for his drivers, not the megas. The megas treat you like a name, a number, and all that. They don't treat you as an owner. They don't treat you, oh, well, hey, you're Michael Warner. All right. Nice to see you. How was your trip? Everything go good? Things going good at home? No, they don't do that. They go, what's your truck number, driver? Driver, did you hear it? What's your truck number? 1, 2, driver. That tells you all they're worried about is that truck number and that you're the driver for that truck. You hauled this load, and what are you in here getting? What are you dropping off? Or what do you need done to the truck? And maybe we might get to it and fix it. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference between owner operators and megas. Owner operator, you call him up. Hey man, I'm having an issue. I got a tire that's going down. It needs to be fixed. All right, man, get it in here. Go to this shop, get it fixed. Call me. I'll pay with the credit card. Boom, get you back up and running. Go. You do that with a mega. Mega's like, well, just see if you can't limp it in, or see if you can make it to the shop or the terminal, and then we'll get it fixed. You might have to sit a day or two, or maybe a couple of days, and we'll figure it out. I got one now that's got a brand new truck. Can't even get in her truck. Can't even get in it. It's at the dealership. They keep trying to tell her to go pick it up, and they ain't even got parts on it because the parts are back ordered. They're almost 6 to 8 weeks out on back order. Nationwide. Can't get parts for it. And all it is 2 sensors. But they can't get the parts for it. Like Michael says, don't force feed the rest of us big boys. That's right. That's right. Also says, funding pet projects, PA was one of those. He's right. Right there with it. Let's see. With highway funds, it's in the records. Georgia, Google PA used their funding to pay for bike paths and covered bridges. See, that's where that money's going, and it's not going where it needs to go, which is the highway, rest areas, stuff like that drivers actually need. But I do like that the OOIDA's got a bill out there for $756 million to start getting these states and involving the states and getting them to get this money to put in rest areas and put in truck stops locations, so that way there's plenty of parking for everybody, and we're not having to have trucks sitting on the side of off ramps and getting hit, or people falling asleep in cars and hitting them in the rears while they're sitting out there because all the truck stops are slap full and you can't get in them, and now you're having to park out on the street. And then that just makes it more fun for the states to come out there, and they just start ticketing because they're making money. And they like it that way. And we're trying to get it away from that. That's what we're trying to do. And Mr. Bull says, I've got 3 new trucks in 9 months here. See, and that's how you work it, because of being where he's at. That's Kelly Shane, and people don't really realize who that is. That's Kelly. And he's been in 3 new trucks. He had that new, which is Elusive Dreams, which was the copper looking and red fender Peterbilt, flat top Peterbilt 389. And then he actually got into Jokes on You, which is a show truck. He was in that truck for a while, and now he's in the new one, which is Double Vision. And it's also a show truck, which I also have pictures of that driver. And then Michael says, not me, turn the wrench and back on the highway. That's right. See, like Michael says, that's the way we need to do it. And it's like this driver right here. There he is. That's Kelly Shane right there. And that's Double Vision right behind him. He got Best of Paint. But that truck is a working truck. That man runs that truck. I think he just told me yesterday he had 25,000 miles on that truck. And I think they only had the truck not even 2 months, or no, a little over 2 months. Yeah, that truck, he's running it. By the time he gets around the match or whatever, he'd probably have close to probably 80 to 100,000 miles on that truck. Thanks, Kelly. Appreciate it. Appreciate what y'all do. Every one of y'all. Love the work. So I will get on here and I'll finish this up real quick, and then I'll go ahead and call it, because I know we're coming up on the 2 hours and you guys are needing to hear what else we got to say, but you also need to get some rest, because tomorrow's Monday and it means we're rolling through, which means back to the nose grind for me. But you guys are always on the grind. Here we go.
Have to fight for it, you need to go to your local officials or whatnot. So, let me know, Todd, how I could be a part of this. I just want to help truckers. My family are truckers, and that's pretty much what I'm about. And you are the real deal. You know, I've seen you at Ram. I've seen you talking, and I agree with a lot of things. I don't usually agree with a lot of things that people say, but a lot of things you're talking about, they make sense to me.
Hey, I used to do this stuff. I used to drive. Every officer, every board member of OIDA either is now or was a trucker. We know what from what we talk about from personal experience. And, you know, it was a lot more friendly environment for drivers when I drove long ago. Having said that, you know, being pressured, shippers, receivers, the parking issues, they've been a problem for a long time. And again, you know, nobody really feels the pain that drivers and the anguish that they go through more than drivers. And nobody's going to take it as seriously. And again, our folks set up, founding members of OIDA said, look, guys, we're going to create an organization for you. Support it, and we'll work to make things better. And we've been doing that for almost 50 years now. The biggest challenge we have is getting buy-in from those folks behind the wheel. And I would encourage everybody that listens to your show to be a part of a OIDA. I mean, our membership fee is $45 a year. That ain't much for professional advocacy. And we do that. We have an office. We've got an office in DC for years and years and years. We do our best to educate lawmakers, to policymakers, and on what needs to be done and basically how they can be helpful. But you know, if folks don't hear from you, if they don't understand your issues, and of course your issues have got to be real. They've got to. You can't go blowing smoke or, you know, hollering and screaming and saying stuff that isn't true, because, you know, people recognize BS too.
Yeah.
So, got to be straight up, understanding, try to meet people where you can in the middle. But again, DC responds to organizations, economic interests, and we see that in everything, every policy that comes out of there. And look, truckers are essential to this country. You know, the pandemic certainly showed that over and over and over. Anytime there's a disaster like what's going on down in Florida right now, it's our folks that step up to meet the need. And you know, certainly they deserve a fair break. They deserve a decent quality of life. And you know, if we want to have them, and we're going to need them, because autonomous trucks are somewhere in the future, but boy, they are so far off when it comes to actually meeting the needs of store shelves and things like that, that, hey, we're going to need drivers the best for a long time. And
no, I love that. You know, it's one of those things where maybe that's something that we could get a bill placed in that, you know what, you want to have self-driving technology, fine. But a professional operator has to always be in that cab at all times. Because unless you can say 100% that this truck will never default and never have error, you need a professional. And if we could do that, Todd, we could save trucking for a very long time, you know?
Well,
so,
yeah, I mean, you know, that's just common sense. That's just reality.
right.
You know, I should also, you know, we have a website, fightingfortruckers.com. You don't have to be a member to access the website, but if you go there, you'll see the hot issues, the timely issues, and we've created a mechanism where you can communicate, submit comments directly to FMCSA, send letters to your lawmakers on these issues. We make it really easy. That's fightingfortruckers.com. And, you know, the issues that are on there right now are certainly FMCSA is considering modifying the rules for ELDs. So trucks older than 2000 models would would be required to have one. We've also got a link up there to the provision of the Fair Labor Standards Act that would remove the exemption that exists for truck drivers only from being paid overtime, which we think is bizarre that would ever have been in there to start with. One on parking, and also on speed limiters, and on, you know, increases to insurance, because, you know, while it is bigger carriers that want to see increases to insurance, because again, they know that would have a greater impact on their competitors. And, you know, for the most part, most of the folks that are in trucks are you're either labor or competition. That's how you're viewed by the big carriers. And either way, they don't like you.
Yeah, I can see where they can win on that, Todd, because, you know, all these big companies are self-insured. So if they can find a way to raise your insurance and kick you out of the game, then, hey, unless you work for them, then or work for them or with them, then you're against them, right? So it's almost the Star Wars, and, you know, there's the Dark Vader, and, you know. Oh, no, this is good. One more time for that website, and I'll put that website down. I'll put, you know, OIDA's website down. You know, I've been listening to a lot of things you've been talking about, Todd, and so far I like what I hear, and I've been listening for a while. I got some friends. My buddy Greg was the president of the California Trucking Association a couple of years ago. He's a good friend of mine. You know, he said, Alex, you need to call up a guy like Todd. A guy like Todd could get you to the right places, because this is all new for me. I never spoke in front of anybody or did anything. All I did was, honestly, people had some gripes. I made a couple videos about them, and now I don't know what it is, but it's like we're fighting the same fight, but I'm just doing it independently.
Well, hey, we're stronger together.
I love it.
So again, join OIDA. It's our website for activists is fightingfortruckers.com. And again, there are a whole lot of us, and we have so much in common. And we have so much on the line, so much at stake. So, you know, we need to push back in the manner that actually gets results.
Oh, I love it. No, I appreciate it so much. You know, on the show today, you know, president right here, OIDA, Todd Spencer. Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate you.
Hey, glad to be part of it, and anytime now.
Well, you heard the end of that. They do want us all to come together. They want us to all be tied in to help each other and get rid of this, because if we don't stand up and fight for ourselves, it's going to be hard for them to help fight for us too. So it's all the same. And Kelly, just be careful, man. Just be careful trying to get home. I see you'll be home in about 2 hours finally after 2 months. Brother, just be careful. It was good hanging out with you at Mayberry and Nacogdoches too. I actually got to hang out with you for a while. It's been a while coming. The last time I seen you before that was at Matt's. So, yeah. So that's what's going on. Michael says the megas are telling drivers no more than 2,500 miles a week, no more. Yeah, that really puts a hurt in someone's pocket. I know for a fact I have solo drivers. John Freese is one of them. Carla Williams is another. There's a couple others out there. Kelly Shane, Dennis Hicks. These guys can run and put 45, anywhere from 4,000 to 4,500 miles down in a week, and be home a day early. Yeah, these are runners. They know how to run and make the money, and they're running off of ELD, but they know how to make it work, and they can make their money in that. Yeah, all illegally done. Yeah, you're right. And it is. And it's all illegally. And they want to sit there and tell you what's going on and how to do it. Like Michael says, autonomous trucks are a threat from there to us. Yes, to our line, or we will replace you with a self-driving truck. That's pretty much what they're telling you. And that's the way they want to work it. And that's how they want to work it. But we all know better. We know it ain't going to work. We know it ain't going to last. And I'm glad OIDA says, yeah, guaranteed they want a driver in that truck too, because they know it's realistically, it's too damn dangerous not to have one in it. And they know it. We all know it. So, yeah. On that note, folks, I got to give a shout out to a sponsor, one of our sponsors to the show. I love this man to death. This man has been a great friend of mine. Where'd he go? Right here. He's got another one out. I got to post it up too, but he does have another one. But this is for one of our sponsors, and this is the Waxable.
All right, people, what we have here is some of this new Bull Snot Waxable detail wax. I have spent many years and many times out here waxing on my truck and spraying wax on or putting wax on, and I spend more time trying to get it off than I do getting it on. So here we go. We're going to spray this on the door. I'm going to show you how quick this stuff works, and it works great. You ain't got to sit there and work with it and do this and do that. Well, let me see if I can find my towel. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to take this clean towel right here. Nice clean towel. All right, we're going to rub it in the door. Let me show you how quick. See how it smears on? That's doing its job right there. Just smear it on. That's all you got to do. See how blurry it is? All right. Let me show you. All right, see how blurry that is? I just got a truck wash. It's even still pulling some dirt off. All right, we're going to flip it around to the clean side. Let me show you how good this clear and good this stuff comes off. Look at that. Already clear, already off. See the difference? See that right there? Watch this. Look at that. 2 swipes and it's off. Normally it takes me about 30 minutes just to do this driver's door panel with the other product that I normally use, that I no longer use. But remember, y'all, you got to put it on with a clean towel and take it off with a clean towel. You can't take product off that you put product on with. At least I don't anyway. Look at that, y'all. Not a smear nowhere. And I'm already done with this driver's door. I got a little bit right here. Look at that, y'all. There's the results right there. Less than what? Less than a minute? No more than a minute? Bull snot, people. I can sit here all day and tell you how good this stuff is. But the only way you're going to find out if I'm lying or telling the truth, go buy you some and try it.
Yep. And they also have a new thing out. It's called Ask For It. It's the new challenge from Bull Snot. Just ask for it. You'll start seeing, he's got a lot of the videos. They're up on YouTube. They're on Twitter. They're also on Facebook. Like I said, love the man's products. Excellent stuff. I use it on both my personal trucks. I've also used it on equipment that we have at the shop that we use. I put Bull Snot. I've taken the Shinable, which is the tire butter, and sprayed the hell out of these rubber tires, and then let them put them on these end dumps and then run them out. And 2 months later, it still looks like a new tire and there ain't no mud on it. So, I mean, if you can put that on an end dump, it's something that runs in dirt all the time and runs in mud, dirt, dust, and it still looks like a new tire compared to the tire in front of it. Yeah, it really makes a difference. And now I've been spraying everything that we got with it, treating it and making it look good. So, yeah, that's what we got going on there. And, yeah. Like right here, John says, we need to get it back in at the Loves. Hey, John, all you got to do is tell them the Bull Snot Challenge, and it's real easy. All you have to do is sit there and tell them, hey, I want it here. We want Bull Snot here. They can get it because he's got all 3 top carriers that carry it, even into Canada, and they can get it. All they got to do is ask for it, and he could ship it. And just let their carrier know. He goes, Hell, I use Shineable inside my cab, and that makes it does. It really does. I use Shineable. Believe it or not, I use Shineable on my door panels and out on the inside of the truck, make it look good. And then I use, believe it or not, hang on a second. Nope, I don't have any handy. I thought I had some sitting here somewhere. The only thing, well, like I said, I do have Blastable, and that's good because it kills all the odors and everything else, even if you smoke, dog, pet, all that. So I do love the product. And I have that. And I also have the Visible. I got the Visible. Got it here. Great stuff. And then I got the Polishable. Good stuff there too. That is great stuff. I use that on the inside of my truck too. So, like I said, I have no problems, no complaints. I have no problem promoting that man's stuff because that man's stuff is the bomb. And hold on. Let me go over here. We got a Fred Husk. What's up, Mr. Fred Husk? Let's see what you got to say. All you have to do is sit there and talk. Hey, I want to hear. We want bulls. Not here. They can get it because he's got all 3 top carriers that that carry it, even in Canada, and they can get it. All you got to do is ask for it. It's where you get it now, where I can get it. Just ask for my carrier. See, there you go. There you go. Fred Husk is also putting it out there for y'all too. Yep. All you got to do is just let it sit there. Just let it sit. Spray it on. Let it sit. 15 seconds. Go back through. Wipe it off. And what's nice is the glass cleaner, and I will put that on there too, is the glass cleaner, which is this right here, the Shineable. This right here, which is, it's the glass cleaner, and it's the Shineable, or Visible. And all you got to do is spray this on. It'll clean any surface. I use it to clean my screens on my phones. I also use it to clean my computer. It's safe for electronics. And then you can also take it and spray it on your chrome. Get the love bugs off. Just let it sit 15, 20 seconds. It sits there and foams up. The stuff that he's got in here will biodegrade all the bug guts and everything off your chrome. And then you just go back and wipe it down with a cloth. And it'll come right off on the first wipe, most of it. And then you go back with a second wipe and it's completely gone. Love this stuff. And this stuff will also shine your chrome, which is I thought was weird. And he goes, no, it's designed to do that too. And I got a can of it here for the house. So we clean the refrigerator, which is stainless steel. The stove is stainless steel. And then my dishwasher is stainless steel. I use it. I spray it on there, let it sit, clean it. Kitchen counters, I spray it on there, clean them too. It's multi-purpose. Good stuff. I can't complain. And the man's got good products. Love it. And let's see. What do you got? Kelly says the new product is going to be bad when it comes out. I know he's got a couple of them that are fixing to come out, but the next one's going to be pretty good. I can't give it out because it's not revealed yet. A buddy of mine says Visible works wonders on Chrome as well as Windows, and it does. It will clean your window front and inside and out, and you can take your fingers and run it across it. You don't have no finger streaks, no nothing. It really does take all the grime out of your windows. Just make sure when you spray it on, use a rag to spray it on, and then go back with a second rag that's clean and take it off. And when you do, it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. It's like $159, and you can pick it up it's $159, and you can pick up 12. Oh, and you can pick up 12 cans mixed. No, actually, it's $80. $80. It's $80. You can get a mixed can, depending on where you're getting it. If you get it from him, and you go to his website and get it from him, it's $80 a case or $90 a case, and you can get off his website. Oh, so it's on. That's what it. Then he may have went up a little bit, but you can get 12 mixed cans, especially if you catch him at one of the shows. If he goes to one of the truck shows, you can get it from him. It's like 80. I think it's like $80 a case. You can pick it up from there cheaper because he's got it right there on hand. He can mix it whatever you want and give you 12 cans. Just saying. I haven't been on his website in a while, but I know I've seen him. I seen him over at Mayberry, and we were sitting there talking because I also did one of his commercials for him for one of his ads. And the man's great. The man's got good stuff. Love it. Can't go wrong with it. All right. So we're coming to the top of the hour. We're making 2 hours. That puts us now at 10:30. And I know some of you guys need to get out there and finish up what you're doing and get it done. I know I'm not exact. I'm going off memory. All right. Yeah. I know exactly what he charges at the show. Trust me and Frank, we have been there and had to cover his booth while he says, I got to go use the restroom, or, hey, I need to go look at this, or, hey, I need to go do that. And sitting there go, not a problem, man. Go do what you got to do. We'll sit here and we'll try to sell it or give it away for free. One of the two. Yeah, we've done that. Just saying. The man's good. His products are excellent. Can't go wrong with it. And that's, go to his website, which is brownsknox.com. He also has I think it's bullsnot.com, but I know what the other one is, brownsknox.com, and it's all one word. What's the two company names that make that stuff? Well, the only one that makes that stuff is Bull Snot himself, and it's Brown's Knox. It's Brown's Knox. It's BROWNSOX.com. And it's brownsknox.com. But the name of the company is Bull Snot. And the original way of doing Bull Snot was designed, and the first one was done because of tires. Yeah, right there, brownsknox.com. Yep. That's it right there. You can get all of his products from there too, from the website, but you just add .com to it and you can have it. He's originally started out doing, it's a tire lube, and it was strictly for tire shops. And it's what they put around the rim of the tire. They put it over the rim, and it was slick, but it didn't leave a greasy feel, and it didn't make a mess. You just take it and just swipe it on and then slap it on. It would go right on like butter. And that's what he got that for. And then he started doing other products, getting into it because, he is a chemist. So, and this is something he really loves doing, is making things for drivers to help them out and make things a better life for truck drivers, which, hey, we love it. We love him. He's a great guy. Can't go wrong. Can't ask for a better man. Let's see. Oh, and I need to get into this because I had 2 viewers send me this stuff in, and I greatly appreciate it. And I love them to death. This is from Slim. He's an owner-operator, and I love Slim to death, and thanks for making this for me, Slim.
Going on TikTok, Southern Slim Cowboy here. I just want to come on here and say for my buddy over with Left Lane with Lefty, got his shirt on. Appreciate the shirt, bud. I ain't got no issues with it. Fits great for me. He's got these in black and white. He might be working on more colors down the road. I believe these are coming up, and you for sale if you want one. So, go give him a follow on here if you haven't already. Awesome guy. He loves to go to the shows, do videos going down the road of recording trucks. Go check him out. Thanks, Lefty.
And that's my boy Slim. He's a good guy. I met him at Semi Casual. Went there, and then I got to see him again. He hit me up a couple times running through. We just weren't able to catch on pass, but yeah. And then I ran into him again over at the Mayberry Truck Show, and we actually had a blast. Him, Ron, Kelly, we all band there for Jacob's wedding, and that was great. Loved it. And like I said, I want to give thanks to Jacob. He's a great friend and very level-headed. And if you have a question or have a problem, that man has no problems dropping what he's doing to take care of it or ask or help you out with it. Jacob's biggest weakness is little kids. Boy, he'll drop anything to sit there and get a picture with a little kid and give him the thumbs up or let him go look at the truck and sign their shirts with Hater Made. So, yeah, love him. And this is from another friend of mine. Her mama, which I will show you if I can get it just right. That is her company, Deborah Designs. Deborah Designs. And you should be able to get it, all the information off of it. But I do have the link and everything on the page and on in the group. But yeah, this woman made me my own tumbler. Oh man, and I mean it turned out beautiful. And I mean absolutely beautiful. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I couldn't ask for anything better than that. And if you guys want one, go hit her up. She's still making some of them. When we left over there at Mayberry, she had probably, I think, 3 or 4. I think she had 4 at the time, and now she's got like up to 7 now orders that are coming in to make these. So I got the very first original. Love it. And if you look her up, you can find her on TikTok as unicorn_mom. And you can look her up there and hit her up Messenger and ask her for any of those if you're on TikTok. But that's where she's at. And I want to thank this lovely lady for going. Like I said, I was doing this, and this lovely lady, which is Trucking Unicorn. It's Trucking Unicorn's mom or _mom. And this is Trucking Unicorn here. And she sent me in. She got one of the originals. We got 2 different styles. We got this style, which, as you can see, I'm wearing. That's the one that Slim just showed you. And I also have the white one, which has got the eagle done in gray. The wings are done in an American flag, and then it's got American flag behind it with the truck. And it says left lane with Lefty. And then the other one is like this one here. And if you want one of these, you got to get a hold of Scott Granger or Karen Granger. And they have a stock of them, and just give them your name and address. Hit them up on DM. They're on Facebook. Just hit them up, and you can get one from them too. They actually have the other ones, and just hit them up. But this is one of the others, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Trucking Unicorn. We love you.
How do you like your birthday shirt, Cregan?
I like this one.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Your left lane with Lefty shirt?
Yep.
Yeah. He liked it. That's one of the old, it's like an old school look to it. It's got the old school feel. Just like we also have, and if you want hats, we also got 2 different designs on hats too. Let me get this one over here. Yep. And then we have our different hats. And as you can see, left lane with Lefty. It's the same logo that's on that shirt you just seen on that one. All right, yeah, I do have my hats. Get my hats set up squared. But yeah, these are the old school. It's got the white done up with the old snap in the back, but it's more of the old school trucker feel. It's almost like a jean material. And then you can shape the bills however you want. But then it's got the left lane with Lefty done as the old school blighted numbers. So just saying, You can hit me up on the DM on Facebook, or you can hit me up on the DM on the main page, and I will get back to you as soon as I can as possible. I usually answer within a day. If you hit me up at night, I will answer it probably by 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning and let you know what I got and what we got doing and how to do it. So, yeah. Let's see. Does the waxable create the same mirror finish on fiberglass as it does on the metal Pete? Yes, it does. It sure does, because he does that on his trailer. He also has a couple other things that he does it on. I know a few of them have used them on their Talladega fenders, and it's turned out almost like if you ceramic coated it. It's that brilliant shine and cleanness on that with the waxable. Yeah, it's really good. I use it on my truck, on both of them. I was using, and I will say this, and I'll tell you, and this is no lie, I use the waxable. You see this? This is Renegade. This is Renegade Graphic Wax. This is the ceramic wax. I quit using it. This bottle is still that full. It's from there. I quit using it when he showed me the waxable, and I started using it on my truck, and how long it took me to put this on compared to that. Yeah, I could do both trucks in the same amount of time I did half a truck with this, and this would not last as long as that. I will say that. Not saying that I don't like Renegade. I do like Renegade's products, but when it comes down to facts, I got to go with what I see and what I trust and what I've used. I have used this, and then I've used the other, and it makes it shine like a diamond, and I don't have to work as hard, because this here you have to rub in and then let it sit for a little bit and cure, and then go back and re-wipe. I found out I've gone through, when I do this stuff, it's 4 to 5 big towels to clean it off. It takes 1 towel to put it on, 5 big towels, almost as big as the banner, to take it off. And I mean, when you're done, you're slippery, slick, and it's really a mess when you go to wash them. Now, when I did the Shineable, I did the waxable for Bull Snot's waxable and sprayed it on there. 1 rag to put it on, and I only used 2 rags to take it off. The one to put it on, and then I used the first one to take it off, and then went back with a second one, make sure I didn't miss anything. And I'm telling you, and you don't leave your stuff oily, and I can throw it in my washing machine and wash it and have no problems with it. Let's see. I asked because I have a ProStar. I wanted to use it in case I like that mirror finish, and he got it in that video. Yes, it will turn out the same way. It's awesome stuff. It is really, really good stuff. This stuff is all right. I used to like this because I had a few people. I even had a friend of mine that was an ambassador for them and used it. And then when I got a hold of Bull Snot, and he told me, here, use this. Don't sit there and use anything else. He goes, I guarantee you, you'll throw this bottle away. Well, I didn't throw it away because this is a $25 bottle, but I haven't used it. And I bought this last year at Mayberry. Or no, not at Mayberry, at Semi-Casual when Renegade was there. Yep. So that was over a year ago, and I haven't used it since. Because I used it the first little bit until he come out with the Shineable. Time to Shine and Bull Snot. Yes. Time to Shine is Evan's stuff, and I'm going to tell you right now, that man makes good stuff. But if you're putting it in show class shine, Evan's stuff takes a little bit of work to do it. But, certain owners, certain drivers do like that. my stuff I got here is not for not for show. I mean, I probably could put it in a show, but I'm not doing for show. But my stuff looks just like a show truck. Yeah, with the shinable and the waxable, and yeah, it really does. And I've always used the shinable, which is the tire butter on all. I got my dually sitting out here, and I got my other one sitting over here, and I put it on both of them. And yeah, I still haven't treated my tires in 3 months. 3 months. It's only got one coat on the dually with the shinable, and it's still looks like brand new tires. Yeah. But you can go out there and there's no greasy feeling, but they still look brand spanking new. So yeah. All right, let me get out of here and let you all get some rest because y'all need it. I heard both of them on Jokes on You and Double Vision. I know you do. Yep, sure does. Yep, he sure does. So I'm going to call a night, and we're going to finish up with this video here. I'm going to show you, this is her video. Absolutely beautiful. She does excellent work. She's done several of them for different drivers and done them to match their trucks and everything else. I think they did one for HaterMade. They also did one for the Mayberry truck show. It was a custom, one of a kind. Sorry. But yeah, it was a beautiful one there too. So, and I do have other sponsors. I want to give a shout out to a sponsor, Diesel Life. I hope you guys didn't have too much damage down there in Florida at your property. I know Chris is down there working on it. I know Ashley was in Ohio at the time trying to deal business. I want to shout out to Bottomley Enterprises. They are as a sponsor. I got to put it out there. They are. So that's all the sponsors for right now. And y'all have a good night. I hope to see you next Saturday. Hopefully there ain't a good football game going on because I don't want to interrupt you guys from watching your football because that's your stress reliever from being in the truck. And then you get me on here and we talk about this. But I love everybody. I appreciate everybody that supports and loves this show. I try to be as real as I can. As Shaggy says, I'm real and I'm doing it. And we like to keep it that way. I try to be as authentic as I can. Yeah, Fred. Yeah. I hope to see you next Saturday and a good football game going on. Thank you and have a good night. Yes, sir. You have a good night. I will see you next Saturday. My show starts at 8 p.m. Unless there's a game that's going in overtime, and I will let you know probably a half hour ahead of the time. And let you know that I moved it to 9. It's usually 8 or 9, depending on how things are going, because I don't want to interrupt you guys having the football games. So, love it. Love you all. Y'all have a good night. And Left Lane with Lefty, we are out.
Sure don't know, I know I turn you. Hello, 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 hello.